I programmed William Tell because I really believe it's an incredibly important opera. It's a masterpiece, one of the great pieces, and it's been slightly undervalued, possibly because everybody knows that very silly tune from the overture, which is actually a brilliant dramatic idea because it's satirizing the Austrian soldiers. That's where that comes from. That's the job it's doing. William Tell is not a piece of ranting Jacobin ideology. It is a piece about justice, actually, about human justice, and one man being in a situation which might happen to all of us, where we're confronted with some unjust action by the authorities, and we feel that we just cannot sit here and allow this to happen. We have to get involved. We have to protest.
One of the most famous pieces in William Tell is Mathilde's aria Sombre Forêt, and that's a strophic romance. You will find some strophic pieces in Rossini's Italian operas, but here it is a romance in the French style. It is not a piece that would have materialized in the same way had William Tell been written for Italy.
There are very elegant costumes because there are two aristocratic characters. There are some quite frightening costumes for the bad Austrian soldiers. And there are, of course, items of folk costume, which are sort of banned. That was one of the ideas, is that the Austrians have done, like the English did to the Welsh, actually, banned them speaking their language and having their folk customs and so on. And so that's what's happened. It's what an imperial power very often does. And so one of the things in the first part of the opera is that they're getting very secretly out these exquisite remnants of their folk tradition and putting those on as a kind of act of defiance. With William Tell, Rossini sets in motion a huge train of works that would be written in the 19th century by Verdi and by Wagner, all taking up this political idea.
So it's not all doom and gloom at the opera this autumn. I would say that William Tell is probably one of the most uplifting operas that you can have. So after these 4 hours of incredible drama and this fight for freedom, you have this incredibly radiant moment then at the very end with the orchestra going through all of these different harmonies with this harp kind of showing light and liberty being restored to the Swiss people. And it's really an amazing moment, I think, when you've gone through that struggle with all of the people on stage and then finally you get this amazing moment of happiness. So it is possible to have a happy ending at the opera.